Good morning, traders. Today is January 21st. It's a Friday. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. Sorry I'm running late today, guys. I opened up a live stream to no one and went through my whole spiel this morning. The long and the short of it is, which I've done before, the long and the short of it is essentially things are getting bearish here, right? Like I noticed this morning, when I opened up Twitter, like everybody's bearish. Things are getting really, really bearish. So that's often a sign that we're starting to get towards a low, but I don't think we're there yet. I think the chart looks pretty bearish no matter how you look at it on the daily. Bitcoin just tanked as well. But no matter how you look at it the daily, it seems like, we need at least a day of rotation to create support, and that's the best we could hope for. More likely, I think we're probably heading down to test new lows here. Will we make it to the 200 daily SMA at 4407? It's very possible. So let's see what the market has for us here today. So why am I so bearish? Well, yesterday's trade, right? It was one of those days, where it started to look like it was doing one thing. And then at the very end of the day, which is it looked like it was trying to build support. It looked like it was trying to kind of roll over the lows here and get up there and make a new high. But we just rotated inside the previous day's range, and then had the massive spike down yesterday. So that massive spike down is very bearish. Okay. Opening below that spike down this morning, even more bearish. Okay. Opening with a gap, even more bearish. So that's why I say things feel pretty bearish here this morning, kind of across the boards. So the first target to look for is filling the gap above us here. So from the current price up to the low of yesterday, which was 44.69, filling that gap and finding resistance at yesterday's low would be bearish. That would be considered a gap and go. Or failing to fill that gap and just starting to push lower here would also be bearish as a gap and go. This area where the market just found support right here, right at the center of the bell-shaped curve from the overnight, that's your support. And if that breaks, I think we're heading to the overnight low, which is an old gap that still needs filling. Remember, it doesn't count as filling a gap until the regular trading hours do it. So yeah, I'm looking at yesterday's low. Do we get resistance there, or do we start to climb up into yesterday's range? If we were able to get up into yesterday's range, let me get that drawing tool up here. If we were able to push up into yesterday's range, come back down and find support, I'd be happy going along with it to start backfilling some of the single prints that we left behind, some of the excess in here. But if we get resistance, if the market pushes up in there and it can't get up in there and it starts to trade back down, that is the most bearish outcome of a gap and go. Thank you guys so much for the 29 likes already. Appreciate you. It's an options expiry Friday today. So I used to say, my little spiel I used to give was, it's an options expiry Friday today. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just rotate in a very tight range. But I'm not going to say that today. All right, so we're testing yesterday's low, looking for resistance there. That is back filling the gap. All right, well, it's starting to push up into yesterday's range. That's a little bit bullish to see. So now can they hold it up here? Can they find support when they pull back down? Diego, good morning to you. Welcome. David Glass, San Diego trader, Cyrus and Big Ray all in the house. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Nicholas, good morning to you. The Shaw in the house. Scooball, Ronald, Orestes, Philip, Robo Futures Trader, Greg H. Welcome, everyone. Greg, normal start time, 8:30 Central. Yes, sir. I try to usually start at 9:25 Eastern. Just a bit late today. Nor Auto Trader, good morning to you. NW in the house. CCT, conclusion from Charles, just short. Haha. No, pretty much, yeah. Can't get back into yesterday's range. That would be the move. It's bears all around. Now, don't fall in love with it. Take your profits. But yeah, if we can't get back up in yesterday's range, there's no two ways about it. We've talked about how the two-way auction process works, right? You auction it up as high as you can as long as there are bidders, as long as there are people willing to pay more. But as soon as you run out of people, you have to pull the price down to convince people to do business. So I wake up this morning, and my Twitter feed is covered with bearishness. I mean, just across the board. People switched gears quick on us last night. So how many of those people are buyers, you know? Like I said, it is a sign that the correction is coming to an end when everyone gets bearish, but this is day one, so... Amir, good morning to you. Design Knob in the house. Good to see you. Arthur's here. Sanju back with us. Trading Donkey back with us again. Good to see you. Record low GEX print yesterday. Should be a very volatile day. Good times. Danielle, trading from the other side of the world. Thought the overnight grabbed the stop, but it didn't. Woke up seeing she's doing well. Glad to hear it. Those are fun, those little moments. Design Up feels a lot like yesterday morning. No, yesterday we were inside the previous day's range. Feels different to me. David V, good to see you, brother. Welcome. MW, Does Window Trader have only 3 data providers? Any preference? They have 4, I think. It is annoying that they only allow you to use those 4. I used bar charts before. It was fine. Every now and then there'd be a glitch. Every now and then I'd wake up in the morning and I'd get ready to start up my chart, and for some reason it wouldn't start up, and I'd have to email customer support and figure something out. I would say over a couple of years it happened like 2 or 3 times. So I switched to IQ feed, and no complaints. It's expensive. That's a complaint, but it works great. Trader McStockster, good morning. Welcome. Cyworker, good morning. All right. Well, I will officially get bearish here if we break this little node that we created in the overnight right at the center of the bell-shaped curve here. So if we get below 44.51, I am bearish for continuation lower, as this still counts as a gap and go. Got resistance at yesterday's low, so the market needs to pull back down to bring in those buyers. Yes, sir. There it is. So next support is going to be filling the gap to 44.31. If that doesn't bring in the buyers, we got another gap down at 43.64. Geez, that's a dive. Not much support between here and there. Let's step back and look at the daily real quick. Yeah, so that 200 moving average, that's there. 44.07. Scooball, can you tell, please, what do you exactly call spike? It's a good question. Sometimes I misuse the term. I'll call like a push higher or lower that's happening intraday a spike. I'll be like, oh, it just spiked up. That's not actually a real spike. A real spike is what we got yesterday. So it's if in the last hour of the day, so it can be the L period or the M period, if in the last hour of the day, the market breaks a range that it's in and pushes really far one particular direction. So it doesn't really matter what kind of day you have. Like you could have a P-shaped day and it breaks. You get a short covering rally that creates a spike up. It could be a bell-shaped curve day like we had yesterday where it could break either way. But it's basically just in the last hour of the day, you get a push in one particular direction. And if you want to get really nerdy with it, spikes where you close inside the spike are a little bit like more bearish or bullish. So spike down where you close in the low is more bearish than just like a spike down where it spikes and then it pulls back up into range. That's what happened to us the last 2 days in a row. Spike down, closed in the spike, spike down, closed in the spike. So little subtle reminder that things are bearish. Stocks above the 200 SMA equals 53%, down from 63. Yeah, I mean, the Russell, somebody just pointed this out this morning, and I was like, oh shit, the Russell is almost in like full on 20% pullback. We're at like 18%, I think. Yeah, 18% right now. Cyrus, how long is a reference good for? Forever? I have some drawn like a trillion points away. Just leave them, and if we go again, they'll be good? Yes, sir. Right? Remember, everyone that's choosing to do business in a financial market is looking at the chart. That's where they decide, what's a good price, where to enter, where to exit. So yeah, those old references come back into play when the market comes back to them. On the way up too. That's what happened to me with Bitcoin. Back in the day, I had like some old charts of Bitcoin. Yeah, like down in here. I had some old charts in Bitcoin that I had been putting like support and resistance lines, horizontal lines across it. And I had like, I'll just draw with this. I had like, line here, line here, line here, line here. Like I had all these lines from on the way down that were like resistance points and stuff. And then I kind of totally ignored crypto during like this era is when I switched to regular stocks. And then like one day I looked back during this time period, and like every single high or low had been created right at a previous support or resistance line that I had drawn from previously. Like it was like I had lined it up perfectly, but I wasn't even watching the charts for like years. So yeah. All right, so now I would expect this node will act as resistance, the one that was support for a few attempts to push up and try to get into yesterday's range. I would look for resistance in here. Ticks are back above the zero line, though. So there are some buyers. David Cooper, what's Chinese markets doing? I don't know. You tell me. Greg, what is the node at 62? It's nothing special. It was just where the market found support earlier this morning. So the market opened and it traded lower. and it built some support in here. It kind of grinded around, and some buyers stepped in, and there was enough buyers to get them to fill the gap up to here. So that's why we consider that to be support. And oftentimes, once you break through support, particularly if the momentum is, like right now the momentum is down, obviously, it's more likely that's going to become resistance when you retest it. Amir, this market dirty. This market playing us dirty. Yeah, I mean, might be a day for trading with MES, It's going to be some volatility. Greg, if you mean the yellow horizontal bar, that just shows where the current price is. David Cooper says it looks global. Pandemic is surging right now. Yeah, I mean, the whole world's economy is connected now. So if we have a correction, they're all going to correct. We're taking the whole ship down with us. Orestes, what a bullish scenario it would be. So I guess you're asking what would be a bullish scenario. Yeah, getting up into yesterday's range and then coming back down and testing yesterday's low, or in particular the overnight high. So if we could just get back in here, come back down, test this low, and then even more so if we can come back down and test that overnight low and find support, that would be bullish. But right now, that is my whole focus. Can we get into yesterday's range? As long as we cannot, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't fill this gap. David Cooper, my crypto is flying off. I know. I saw Bitcoin tanked. It's very disappointing. Why is it disappointing? Because I don't have more cash to put in. That's why I'm disappointed. Oh, yeah. Bloody Friday. 10% in the corn, 12% in the ETH, 14% in ADA. Yep, wish I had more money to buy. Same thing with the stock market. Amir, also situation in Ukraine getting tense, but this has happened so many times before. Yeah, I mean, I would hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't think Americans really care about that right now. I think they're more worried about the Fed. I think the Fed is really the reason for this, the ruling reason. I don't know why, but it just seems like people were shocked when they found out the Fed was going to start tightening up. And so this is that panic playing out. Oh no, there won't be free money anymore? Money printer not going burr? Oh no. Nunez got himself a case of the sore throat and sniffles. Bummer, man. Hope you feel better. The large green bar near the open. Okay, so what the green like rectangle right here? What that represents is the closing price for this profile, and then you can see the little green dot. That's the opening price for this. So that literally was just showing us where the market closed there. Diego, that's what I mean by they don't care. It's not that they don't like, not that they're bad people. It's that they just don't know. It's not on our radar. Miles, you sounded like Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog? Oh, Miles, thanks. Steve and Julie, yeah, they've only been saying it for months and months. It's true. People still don't believe, though. They still think inflation is transitory. Nunez, national gas up 500, natural gas up 500%. Yikes. Oy vey. Jitten, no 100 SMA marked. Good call. Is it near? Are we nearby? Did I miss it? Oh yeah, that 100 is miles and miles away. That's all the way up there at 45.64. Okay, I guess that's not that far. Fair play. Oh no, 45.64. Yeah, yeah. No, that's totally outside of range. All right, so with the printing of the B period, I'm still bearish. I still think we need to head down and repair that gap. So I'm looking for resistance, if not right in here at like 52, a little bit higher up where we got it before, just below the opening price there. Greg, what software do I use? It's called Window Trader. And there's actually a link in the description. If you scroll down, you'll see in the affiliate links, there's one that says like market profile software, full version or light version. I use the full version, but you don't have to get the full version. The light version's got all the necessities in it. It's pretty expensive though. It's like $150 a month. All right, back filling that gap. Come on, gap now. Get yourself filled up. So we could potentially find some support right here once we fill the gap around the overnight low. It's potential, but I don't have a lot of confidence in that. More likely, I think we got to test that 200. Nor Auto Trader 582 from heaven, done for the day, meaning you got back $500 of your money. Congrats, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. TV, I had a tough day yesterday. Haven't seen in a long while a day that was bullish, then rotation, then ugly bearish. Yeah, that was a weird day. I think somebody in the Discord posted a link to a tweet where they mentioned that like that's only happened like a half a dozen times ever. The scale of it, like did like a 1.5% up and then it ended the day a whole percent down or whatever. That's like extremely rare. For what it's worth, TV, I always tell myself when those type of things happen, when the market has a funky day and I don't trade it well because it's not my norm and I'm not in the flow the way I normally am, I give myself a break. You know? As long as you followed your rules, did the best you could, it's okay to have a bad day sometimes. Markets are random, you know? Jitten meant the 200? Yeah. Yeah, the 200's down there. 4707, 4407. Jitten, it's just so ridiculous saying it. Yeah, it probably is the downside target for today. Diego, how much did it cost? Just click on that little link. If you see in the description of the YouTube video, you'll see a link there that says market profile software. Click on it and you'll see how much it is. I don't remember exactly. Donkey, yeah, I saw that. Netflix has been getting murdered. Like, just murdered with a gun. Yeah, down 27% from the high. It's a bear market, you know. Oh, damn. No, shit. I didn't even see we opened all the way down there. Okay, so my apologies. Down 44% from its high. Oh, look at that gap. Did they come out with like terrible numbers or something? Why did that happen? What do you mean they did this on a beat, Donkey? Meaning like the timing of it seems fishy to you? Jitten, it's on forward guidance. There you go. Oh, the CEO said they're losing subscribers. Well, that'll do it. Losing? Really? Huh. David Cooper. Yep, serial killer bot on that Netflix. Okay, so the gap is filled. That old gap from October. We're looking for support now around the overnight low. If we can't get it there, the next major support is all the way down on the 200 daily SMA. So I would believe that to be our next stop. Nothing like the smell of panic in the morning. Scooball, how would I jump into this low trend there? Up when it was in resistance? It's too late now. I would wait for it to push back up into like 44, 34-ish. Look for resistance there. Because if you jump it now, where do you put your stop? You know? Yeah, if you miss it, honestly, Scooball, my best advice is if you miss a trade, let it go. I have tried so hard to come up with a good strategy for chasing trades, and never really works out. Not consistently over time. You got to kind of get the entry at the good location or give up on it. The donkey's itching to go long. I think you're early, bro. Maybe next week. Grandma and Grandpa just woke up and saw their portfolio is down 10% today. Got to give them a chance to panic too. Yeah, you're right. I was looking at that actually. I was just looking at that. Is that the 200 is not like the 20 or 50 where you buy at it? Because like when we passed through the 200, man, we passed through it. So you can see like here. Okay, so just going back a few examples, like here broke through that 200, which is the blue one, and just major sell off. Broke through it again, major sell off. Again, here. So yeah, probably better to catch that one on the way up. I agree. Donkey. Paid for my vacation yesterday. Now looking to pay for the next one. Are you going to just do an extension? Are you just going to stay longer if you can pay for the next one? Or are you going to wait? And do you go back to the same place or try a new tropical paradise? Well, there you go. If he wants to come back to the same exact spot, it must be good. It's really tough to look for entries here on a short because we don't have a lot of clear support resistance to look at. Bitcoin down to 38 now. Da-da-dum-dum. Yeah, I mean, when that sucker falls, it falls. It wastes no time about it. It's sitting right on that 236 fib. Bam, bam, bam. Last fib support. My guess is 28's as bad as it'll get. That's what I think. I don't think it'll get. I think that's the floor is 28. I have to wait and see. Diego, for the daily charts, do you only use the day session data or include the overnight as well? I do include the overnight. When I'm looking at the candlesticks, you mean? Yeah, I look at the overnight as well. So again, remember as we approach that 200 daily SMA, that they don't necessarily buy to a tick right on the SMA. They kind of ladder in around here. So we may grind through it a little bit, but we should find support down there around the low 4400s. Got 109 people watching. We got 50 likes. It's Friday. We got some options that are expiring. Let's push that thumbs up. Let's smash that like button. Let's just see what happens. Nunez, right as the world's ending, he's ending the stream. The world is not ending, brother. We are the people, okay? The people on this stream, in the whole planet Earth, we are the people that should be able to look at this and be happy. Like, the market's on discount. We love a nice sale. We've studied enough. We've spent enough time staring at charts. We understand patterns. We understand cycles. These things get themselves overly long and they need a pullback, but it doesn't mean the world's over. It just means the market's correcting. It's imbalance. We are the world. We are the traders. Well, we doubled the average initial balance range, and we are bringing in a lot of volume. Emotion. Steven, what do you guys trade? What's your thing? All right, so I'm looking for resistance when we get up here to the halfback at 44.42.75. It's very common when the market makes a big move down that it has to come back halfway to find resistance to continue lower. So that halfback is what I'm watching now. You trade options. Okay. Well, if you're successful at it, just keep doing that, brother. That gives you more range. Arthur, discount sale? Where are the buyers? Well, that's the point, my friend. That's the point of how the auction process works. The buyers who are buying at discount are the early adopters, right? They're the people who are ahead of the curve. And then everybody else plays catch up. Everybody else FOMO's in. They get upset. They missed the dip. And then that's what gives you the rip higher. David Cooper, the great filter. Charles doesn't send link to member stream. I don't know what that means. The great filter. All right. So with printing the C period down here, we did leave some single prints behind that are likely need to be backfilled. Taking the market back up to 44.3750, and then look for resistance there for continuation lower. As I mentioned, we might be finding support around this 200 daily, and it doesn't have to be exactly here. Let me just type this out. It doesn't have to be exactly at the moving average, like to a T. It can kind of just come in this general area. So if the next time the market pushes down here, it's able to get down into here, find some support, we may be going rotational in this area. I would also consider getting the C period above the B now, a sign we're going rotational. John Q, the hell was that? That was the market finding support, reversing the ticks. The volatility is what's what's so hard today. But what it's doing is normal. Okay, so that's only one tick. I wouldn't consider that cessation just yet. I'd want to see one more tick up there. All right, well, looks like we're not going to get it before I'm leaving this stream. But so yeah, like I said, if price pushes its way up, if it gets one tick higher than that C period high, so call it like 45, 50, 75, consider that cessation of one time framing. If that happens, then we'll look for the market to go sideways. But I'd be weary for what's happened the last couple days, where it fools us into thinking that it's building up support, and then at the very end of the day, it just tanks. I could see that as a scenario here if we go sideways. If we don't get back up to this level and the market continues lower, look for support around that 200 daily SMA. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for those likes, all 68 of them. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I will see you here on Monday morning. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, there's cessation. There it is. Market going sideways. Market going sideways. So I'll be looking for resistance in here below the open, and then at yesterday's low for potential shorts back to the POC. And if we can get back up into yesterday's high, be watching the ticks for a potential breakout if we start to trade up into yesterday's range. But that doesn't seem likely to me. Rotation sideways seems more likely. Good luck.